I'm here to talk to you about the petite adjustment. We know that petite women are all around us, and there's even a petite department in ready to wear these days. So it's clearly something that we know happens, and we don't create our patterns specifically for petites, but we do give you the information on how to adjust the pattern if you are a petite. And I'm going to show you a little bit about how to figure out if perhaps you need the petite adjustment, because that will help you know if you should make this adjustment or not. The petite adjustment really alters the garment between here and here. It alters the whole garment, but generally if you need a petite adjustment, you have too much happening from the shoulder to the, in this case, with the tabula rasa jacket, and also with the opus, you have too much in this upper body. And the way to see if it helps, if you do a petite adjustment, is to start by pinning out a little bit across the shoulders. And so we're actually going to do that. This model has on a maca that is a little bit big, and her dart is a little bit low. And sometimes if you are petite, that is something that happens. And if you pin out, if we've just pinned out this one side, and you can see that already her line is looking closer to the bust. It's looking where it should, kind of right underneath, and there's her dart. And while I'm here, I'm going to show you that if she tipped that dart just a little, which is in one of the bust adjustment videos, that would actually make it even more perfect. So we'll put that in there just so you can see and look forward to that video in the bust adjustment videos. Now, you can't make this adjustment taking that much. I've pinned a generous quarter, so probably 3/8, not quite 3/8. But you also then have to adjust the sleeve. And this is often the case if you are petite, if you're physically petite, which means you have small bones and a smaller structure, then the sleeve will probably be feeling a little bit loose on you too. And so the easiest way to make the sleeve better is, and to make the alteration so that you can easily put your garment together once you have changed your pattern, is to take that same amount all the way down the sleeve. So you're narrowing the sleeve from the same place where you have raised the shoulders, so that you're getting a good little sort of update. Everything is being lifted up and made to fit the smaller proportions of the petite body. And so if you look here, if we turn and we look at our friend straight on, and this side has not been adjusted, you can see that this is all sort of loosey-goosey, and that the dart is pretty low. And so if we just brought this up just a little, all of the sudden the jacket would look more like a jacket that was actually made for the wearer, and not a jacket that was made for someone who has a little bit larger structure. So here, just pulling up those shoulders and making this jacket balanced is going to let you see how much better that jacket fits her when she has it on like this. And so this is the petite adjustment. We will adjust the shoulders. We will then true the shoulder seam, so we make sure that we haven't gotten out of kilter there. And then we will take in the sleeve pattern all the way down the arm, and that's not a difficult adjustment at all, so that the jacket pattern is more proportioned to the petite body. So enjoy the video. It will walk you through every step, and if you need this adjustment, you will find that the changes really make the jacket feel so much better on your body. Here we have the pattern pieces that we need to use to make the petite adjustment on the tabula rasa jacket and or the opus. We're going to use the tabula rasa jacket pattern here, which is at the 3X size, and we need both the front and the back, and then we also need the sleeve. And you'll see in a minute why we need that, because when we alter the front and the back, that is going to change how the sleeve fits into the jacket, and so it too will need to be altered. So if you're considering this alteration for yourself, if you think I feel like it's a little too long between the shoulder and the bust, or in the back, between the shoulder and the waist, then this will work. But if the sleeve is not able to be altered, then that might make you reconsider and think about maybe a different way that you would want to do the alterations. So generally you are doing the sleeve alteration, the petite alteration, excuse me, with the you're using the ruler, and you're going to take off however much you need. And you could do a quarter, 3/8, probably even a half using this method. Or you can divide it here in the arm. You can take it out here. I mean, in the body on both sides. This one already has its round back adjustment done, so it would be complicated here. But the common fitting adjustments shows you how to do the one where you take it here and then you adjust the sleeve accordingly. We're going to look at the one where you use the shoulder and you're using a petite adjustment of, let's say, 3/8 of an inch. And so we're going to come here to the back, and all the way across the shoulder we're going to draw a new line for a new cutting line. And it will be 3/8 inches smaller, and you saw how we figured this out on the mannequin when we did the little intro. So here we're taking that 3/8 inch out across the shoulder, and we're taking it out the same equally, if that's what you need, here on the front. And often it is an equal alteration with a petite adjustment. If you're generally small, you're going to be small both in the front and the back, and you'll want to take the alteration out both places. We're going to move that notch, and on the tabula rasa, the notches kind of dance around the seams, and you'll want to move the one that is the size you're using so that all your notches will match up. So this is because we're working with a large size, you have plenty of room to do this, and you would then go on and trim this away. I'm actually going to turn it under so I can use this pattern piece for another demonstration in a little bit. So I'm going to turn that under, and you can see that this is our new line, and I'm going to move the notch down. I'm going to make that notch marked on the top and the bottom so you can then see it. Okay, here we go. That's good. And here I am also going to turn this one down. Okay. This will also work on the opus. Recently did it on Carrie's opus jacket pattern, and with very nice results on the Sewing Treadle Cats jacket. If you haven't seen that, you should look that up in the blog. Was the post for the first weekend in December, or the last week in November maybe. So here you see we have our shoulder adjusted, and we're going to just do a little check to make sure that we think that works pretty well. And sometimes the back needs to be adjusted a little bit so that you have, and we're going to check it, so we're going to cross that over 1 1/4 inches, which is 2 5/8 for the seam line, and that is about right. So if we look at this here and we line the front up at the seam line, the neck area, which makes the most sense, then we do have a little too much back here in the back, and we will need to just make a little alteration there so that at this seam point, they're going to work. And I will do that with the curved ruler here. We're going to just make a new line here to bring this in ever so slightly. And then we'll let it ease up here to the original cut line. If you don't do that, you will just, your shoulders won't line up quite perfectly and you'll wonder why. And we try to give you a nice screwed pattern, and so we recommend that you do that. And so you would also trim this off as you were trimming off your shoulder sleeve. Okay. Now, you see here that this is where the sleeve fits in, and I have the pattern sitting here. Pull in this way just a little, and then you'll be able to see that this is where the sleeve fits, and it is now, of course, too big, even with an ease factor factored in, because you've removed a total of 3/4 of an inch from the shoulder. So there's a pretty easy way to do this alteration on the sleeve. I'm going to move these back over here for right now, and center the sleeve. And we're going to just fold it along the grain line. You see we have this nice long grain line right here. And we're going to fold it. You can also cut it, but I think sometimes if we just do this as a fold, since it's going to fold all the way up and down the sleeve, you have a better chance of keeping everything aligned. Sometimes when we do too much cutting, we get a little confused. So we have now this nice crease, and we're going to just rock that crease, okay, to one side. All right, and we're going to measure to make sure it's 3/8, because you want to make sure that this is just right, and it is, just like we measured the 3/8 on the edge of the sleeve. And we're going to take this out equally, 3/8 of an inch, all the way down the sleeve. Okay. So that now the sleeve and the body will match. And I would measure up here a couple places too, just to make sure that it's all even. And look at that. Not too bad. All right. And we're going to put some pieces of tape there, because that you definitely need to be able to keep aligned. Now when you do this, you can see that you've lost complete track of the shoulder dots. They've kind of become a little off, but I think you can still use them just the same. We'll walk it and see. Walking a pattern is really a terrific way to check your pattern work when you are doing something that has different pieces coming together. And this does have the two shoulders coming together, as well as the sleeve coming in. So let's put the shoulders together first. We know they walk because we walked them already. And we're going to put them here. Okay. And I'm looking for my weight so I can just put that stable. Okay. And then we're going to lay the sleeve here. And pull this so that and we're going to walk it along, again, the 5/8 inch line if we can. There's our notch. So we have this here, and you should have a little bit of ease, but that dot is still just there in the right place. And then it will come here, and then you'll be lined up here as well. So we're good. Let's remark that dot on the sleeve so we know it's in the right place. If you do an alteration that moves the shoulder forward or back, then you do actually have to move this little dot, and it's a good exercise to think about whenever you're doing these kinds of alterations, and to just do that simple exercise to walk the pattern and make sure it works right. This is the petite adjustment. This is a terrific little adjustment to do if you are short in the upper body, or you just feel like you have just a little too much fabric. You might try this and see if it works as well as you hope.